Evan, let's hear from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer talking about not making any subs until extra time in the Europa League final last night.
Well, we felt the players out there. You got Mason, Marcus, match winners in their own right. Bruno, Eddie, of course, they can create anything. Scott, as I said, I felt he was the best player on the pitch, and Paul. So it's difficult to make that change, especially when Fred's been injured for a week. But he came on and he did well, the boy. But we just couldn't create enough chances to win the game. You know, when they've got Torres and Albiol in there with crosses, it's always going to be difficult. We needed to play our way into the box quicker.
Interesting stuff. I mean, Fred was injured all week, hadn't really trained, but then he was on the bench.
Yeah.
And he did come on as well.
I'm looking at the bench now, and it's only really Daniel James that you could probably say is a real game changer and someone who maybe should have come on a little bit earlier. But then I go back to the starting 11, exactly what Ollie said. He's got full of match winners. So as a manager, you always have faith in these players that can have one moment to change a game. Unfortunately, he didn't get it on this occasion.
Bruno, I didn't think had his best game.
No.
The timing's bad there, which is unfortunate, but he has been a saviour so many times for them. That's why I thought Van der Beek might come on. Pogba in a withdrawn role had to be because of Fred, and it just left you a little bit short of creativity, I think.
Van der Beek is a top player, but is he a game changer in a final where you need inspiration, you need speed, and you need someone to change the game? Is he that player?
We don't know, do we? He's barely
That is
played.
very true.
He's barely
That
played.
is very true.
Let's get to some of your calls. By the way, there was a tweet here saying you can tell when United have lost. talkSPORT have an Ollie out day. I'm not even saying Ollie out. I'm still bewildered as to how Ollie was in 3 years on. I mean, I still don't get it. And he's such a lovely fella. It's hard to have a real go at him. But surely, is he the one that's going to take them where they want to be? If he does, fair play, but I just can't see it. Raymond's a Man United fan. What do you want to say? You're on talkSPORT.
Hi, boys. I think it would be a little unfair to blame Ollie totally. And I accept that he hasn't really got the gravitas of the manager for Manchester United, probably one of the top clubs in the world. They should really have somebody with renown. But I think last night I blame the players. I particularly blame De Gea. That penalty he took, my grandson, who's 12 years old, could have done far better than that. I mean, he tapped it into the corner. I could have saved it. Anybody could have saved that. So I blame him for that. I thought Rashford was appalling. He missed what was probably the best opportunity that United had to score an open goal. He's been off form ever since he started this business with school lunches, writing books. Now he's writing menus. I do not believe that his mind is on the game. And he clearly, in my opinion, showed that last night. So it's unfair to blame Ollie. I don't think he is the right man, but I wouldn't put this totally at his feet.
I mean, it seems really weird. I know what you mean, but it seems really weird, doesn't it? Having a go at David De Gea for missing a penalty.
It's not easy either. I've been in that position. I've missed penalties. I've scored penalties. And as a goalkeeper, your main focus is on trying to save them. You've got the notes written down. He goes left, he goes right, centre. You're not expecting it to go to the 11th penalty. So, yes, it wasn't a great penalty, but that's not really David De Gea's job.
No, their penalties were unbelievable. All of them were fantastic, including the goalie's penalty. Is there a case for Ollie being really bold and brave as the Dutch were? You remember in the World Cup, I think it was Van Gaal was the manager. He took off Cillessen, brought on Krul just for the penalty shootout. And we know De Gea's not saved a penalty in the last 40. I think they've all gone in past him for the last 40, And Dean Henderson at that time has saved, 5 or 6, I think? Yeah. And he's a super confident human being, Dean Henderson. So I was...
What are you trying to say? Ask the question.
I was thinking, is Ollie going to actually do the unthinkable and take off De Gea and bring on Dean Henderson? Because he had one sub left. Another thing with Ollie, he left the two subs. He brought on Telles and Mata, didn't he? He left it really late. And Villarreal were trying to keep the ball in, weren't they?
And I was actually thinking when he brought them on that he hasn't given them enough time to at least get a touch of the ball before the penalty shootout. And as both of them ran up, I was worried for them, but they slotted it away expertly.
Yeah, Raymond, thanks for the call. Nick's a United fan. What do you want to say? Nick, you're on talkSPORT.
Yeah, hi guys. Interesting what you've been saying there, and the other caller saying he doesn't really blame Ollie as much. I think Ollie's PR team has been incredible in supporting him and backing him. It's ridiculous. You know what? He was a makeshift guy that came in. He's done the best that he could. But is he to take their United next level? He's not. When it comes to big games, he can't. He's clueless. He doesn't know what to do. Then you've got the players like Bruno. People rant and rave about Bruno and saying he's fantastic. He's the next Eric Cantona. I'd be insulted if I was Eric Cantona and you comparing a legend such as Cantona and Bruno in the same breath. Bruno has done nothing in big games. He cannot handle pressure. He just freezes. So I think there's a lot there to take back. Is this current United squad good enough? No. The best player was McTominay. He absolutely did phenomenal. He was the driving force. Rest of them just didn't show up. So who's to blame? Ollie has to take it. It's his team. He put his best 11 on there. And if he's not put that best, if he says, that is the best, and he's not bold enough to make changes, then he shouldn't be in charge of a team such as United. What did he do with Cardiff? They went down. Then he went and did something for, was it a Norwegian club, to then become a United saviour. And anybody would have been United saviour at that point because Mourinho had lost the dressing room. And it's the players to blame, not Mourinho. He lost the dressing room and they didn't play. So for him to, and it's just been a difficult, frustrating season and painful to watch. That was really painful to watch yesterday.
I find that I think some of the ex-United players don't really want to criticise Ollie. And I think Paul Scholes was saying, give him another year or two. I was like, wow, would you be saying that with Van Gaal?
I think the problem is a night like last night just shows the fine margins between success and failure. Manchester United probably a David De Gea saving penalties away from a really successful season. Europa League winners, second in the Premier League, only to Pep's all-conquering City. So I think times like this, we maybe overanalyse it, criticise them, but it's just fine margins. And unfortunately, on this occasion, Man United were at the wrong end of it.
I would also say as well, maybe, and I said this on the show yesterday, Villarreal, their motivation was right up there, way more than Man United's. And I know United fans want to win a trophy, but with David De Gea basically kicking it back, it was a back pass, wasn't it, the penalty? With that penalty, that's taken Villarreal from Europa Conference League to Champions League.
Wow.
That's a huge, with one missed penalty.
Yeah, I think, listen, the motivation is the same. Those players wouldn't have been on that pitch in the final thinking, oh, it's fine, we've still got Champions League football next season regardless. Listen, these guys want to win trophies. They haven't won it in a few years. This squad is obviously being criticised. Can they go take that last step? Can Bruno Fernandes produce in the final? So I don't think motivation was a problem last night.
We're going to talk about Poch after 5, and maybe some United fans might be thinking now is the time for him to come to Old Trafford. We'll do that a little bit later on. This is talkSPORT.